McGee with your entertainment ticket. Get us at www.yetickets.com. I'm a critic, and I criticize. When I first heard this title, There Be Dragons, well, I said, oh, no, here's another dragon film to try to capture maybe or do another dragon film because of the success of another dragon film that was out last year. But I was completely wrong about this film and the content and the storyline just by listening to the title, in which I am glad that it is not what I thought it would be. Because, Hollywood, they always want to, imitate someone else's success, hopefully bring it to their success. But it didn't happen with this film. I mean, as far as the storyline. There Be Dragons was directed by Ronald Jaffe. He did The Mission and The Killing Fields, and he wrote and directed this film. This film also stars Charlie Cox, Wes Bentley, and Doug Ray Scott. Now, this is set in Spain in the 1930s during their Civil War. They had a huge Civil War. Now, but remember, World War II was going on, so many Americans were not aware of the Civil War in Spain unless they had friends or relatives in Spain who were telling them about it, writing about it. And don't forget, too, a few of the artists from Spain, they did some portraits and paintings about it, too. But it was not widely known because of World War II that we finally got involved in 1941 because of the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Now, this film is really, it looks at the early life of Catholic Saint Jose Maria Escriva. He's the founder of Opus Dei, the controversial Catholic organization that was subject in the book and movie version from Dan Brown of the Da Vinci Code. And that's what he wrote about based on this Catholic organization. But in this film, There Be Dragons, it's about a young journalist, and he had problems with his dad. He rejected his dad. He didn't want to talk to his dad until he found out that his dad was friends with the saint when they were growing up. The father knew the saint, and they were really friends, but they had a great association throughout their lifetime. But he didn't find this out until he started writing about the saint when the Catholic Saint Jose Maria was up for canonization by the Catholic Church. So his father gave him information, tapes, and written documents about his life and also Jose Maria's life during that time of the Civil War. They had a very complicated relationship when they were growing up. One was rich, one was poor. They had, their families knew each other, and then during the war, which was the Spanish Civil War, they were on opposite sides. One was trying to kill the other. Now, also, the Spanish Civil War unveils a compelling drama filled with passion and betrayal, love, and religion. Yeah, that's going to come in there, too. In fact, according to the film, you had to choose between the Bible or your country. And that was part of the reason why they was fighting. Also, communism, fascism, all other things was injected into the Civil War. Also, it was a murderous time in the Spanish history. And also, it was the time, according to this film, where the timeless power of forgiveness was also very important. But the film itself, the storyline, I found it fascinating, and I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if all the scenes, now it's based on some true facts, but they had to make a story. Roland Jaffe, he wrote this also, so he had to put this together. But also explores the senseless nature of war and also its consequences. We're Americans. We should know that. We already know that today. Also, hatred amongst your own brothers and sisters. That engulfs the men and the women, because in this film you see women fighting next to the men. And I found that very fascinating too in this film. And then, like I say, each character, they are filled with their dilemmas. In fact, that's why it's called There Be Dragons, because one of the characters had a nanny to tell them about dragons. The dragons are really the demons or the obstacles that you had to face throughout life. How are you going to conquer this dragon? And in this story, it showed many of the characters how they conquer the dragons in their lives. Even with the young son, how he finally conquered the dragon between he and his father. The war scenes, wow, there were some great battles. But there were some scenes, too, in this film. I said, is this made for TV? But then it changes, and it said, no, it's really made for a movie. The acting was top rated. I enjoyed the acting in this film. I kind of wish, though, it was really in the Spanish language with subtitles. It would have made it more realistic for me instead of in English, because many of the actors, they had a subtle accent. And maybe that's why they didn't do it in Spanish, because many of the actors, they come from different countries. But I enjoyed this film, There Be Dragons. It's not a perfect film. The subject matter is perfect. And I'm using that word because it's a great subject matter. But again, the way Roland Joffrey shot it, you would not be bored. I mean, the first part kind of started off slowly. But again, it tells a story about what was going to happen and how to develop. So you have to have patience for that. So I'm giving this film a B-. It's not a perfect film, but you will enjoy it. I would say go see this. I mean, again, I'm not telling you what to see. I'm just saying I enjoyed it. So see it for yourself. There Be Dragons, a B-. Hey, I'm Al McGee. This is your entertainment ticket. Email us. Send us some comments. Get us at www.yeticket.com and email us at yeticket@yeticket.com. Also, we're on Facebook and Twitter. You can tweet us. Tweet us at yeticket. Facebook, yeticket.com. I'm Al McGee.